There's someone walking behind.
5:28 p.m. Microphones are hot.
Good ones.
We got a minute.
Oh, I didn't see it. It's right. I was gonna say, hopefully I got the right.
I almost took you out. Do it. Take him out. Take him out.
You're taking me out too. That's a loaded question. Never mind.
These mics might be live.
Yeah, how old is it? Yeah, of all places. Where?
She is.
Last time.
I know, I have that problem sometimes.
It really isn't. The last third.
No.
What you gotta do,
Hiking to the top of Hollywood. This.
you going back out there?
Wonder if they'll ever fix that clock in here.
Nope. Watch out for bobcats, man. Sometimes you just, mountain lion will get you.
Evening.
Hey.
Being that it's 5:30, the chair will call the July 2nd, 2024 meeting of the City Council. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Lesko, can you please call the roll?
Sure, yes. Alderman Redpath.
Here.
Alderman Gregory.
Here.
Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderman Rockford. Alderwoman Purchase.
Here.
Alderwoman Notriano.
Here.
Alderman Carlson.
Here.
Alderwoman Connolly.
Present.
Alderman Donnellan.
Here.
Alderman Hanauer.
Here.
Mayor Busher.
Present.
Mayor Busher, a quorum is present.
Thank you, sir. The civility pledge, in the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each may have different ideas for achieving that objective. Alderman Gregory, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I just wanted to take time to send my condolences to the family of Mr. Howard Ville Sr. He was a longtime director of the Springfield Urban League, as well as a member of the voting rights lawsuit plaintiff. So I just wanted to say that, and if we may, take a moment of silence for him.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So with that being said, now we're going to move on to, from something sad to something to celebrate. We have two young men here with this evening that I'm going to acknowledge. I'm going to come down to the podium and bring them up one at a time, so bear with me. And the first person I would like to bring up, if you could please come up, and if your parents want to come with you, they're welcome to, but it's up to you guys as a family, would be Kane Basket. I'd like to bring Kane up if I could for a minute. This is a young man you all want to get to know and follow. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Kane and his accomplishment. Tonight we are giving a certificate of honor on behalf of the city of Springfield to Kane in recognition of his exceptional performance and dedication in the Sports Illustrated All-World Tournament held June 16th through the 24th of 2024. Kane here played for Top Speed International All-World Team, a prestigious team composed of 140 players from around the globe based in Boston and Finland. As center and left wing, Kane also contributed significantly to the power plays. His outstanding skills and sportsmanship earned him a spot on the all-star team for the Team All-World. Out of 126 players in his age group worldwide, only 28 were selected to be on the two all-star teams, and Kane was one of these 28 people. Worldwide. During the tournament, the following teams competed: USA, Canada, Czechia, Finland, Italy, and Team All World. Kane's hockey journey began in Springfield with the Kings at the age of 3. He then advanced to the AA team in St. Louis for a year before moving up to the AAA Car Shield team, where he continues to play during his regular season. Kane will be, in August, a freshman at Lanphier High School. Go Lions.
Yes, indeed.
In this upcoming school year. His hard work, determination, and passion for hockey are very commendable. You are going to be seeing a lot of this young man over the next 4 years, because look at what he accomplished between his 8th grade year and freshman year.
Yeah.
So, Kane, we want to honor you tonight and recognize you for all your accomplishments. Great job. We've got some super athletes in Springfield. Now we're going to give a proclamation to a young man, and if your parents want to come up with you, they're welcome. Jamarian Broadwell, please come up. Congratulations. How many of these do you have? 3. Kane, this is going to be you. You're going to ask how many of these you're going to have, too. So I'm going to read about Jamarian here for you. This proclamation in the city of Springfield says, whereas Jamarian Broadwell, a student of Sacred Heart Griffin High School, I'm going to look back at Mordock on that one, has achieved extraordinary success by winning the IHSA 2A triple jump, demonstrating exceptional athletic abilities and dedication. And whereas Jamarian Broadwell is a 3-time state champion across 3 different sports, exemplifying his versatility, commitment, and excellence in athletics. And whereas Jamarian Broadwell has also been honored as the inaugural Springfield Urban League Scholar of the Year, recognizing his outstanding academic achievements and dedication to personal development. And whereas Jamarian Broadwell is a current and active member of several distinguished organizations, including the Springfield Urban League 21st Century Project Ready Team, 4-H Club, College Admissions Process, National Society of High School Scholars, LINK, and the Junior Frontiers. I see someone in the back from the Frontiers Club here to celebrate with you. Demonstrating that he can successfully manage success in academics and athletics. And whereas Jamarian Broadwell's previous membership in the Key Club at Sacred Heart Griffin High School further underscores his dedication to service and community engagement. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Misty Busher, Mayor of the City of Springfield, along with the Springfield City Council behind me, recognize Jamarian Broadwell for his outstanding achievements in athletics, academic excellence, and his commitment to service and the community engagement. Thank you, Jamarian.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Does anyone from the council want a picture with the mayor?
Yep, I'm coming on down.
Stay right here, Sean.
I was going to say, Hannah knows him real well.
We'll have her. Haley got his name. Yeah, we'll get it fixed. Look at all these folks. Come up here. Yeah, everybody. I don't know where to go.
We can, it doesn't matter. That's cool. I'm gonna block you.
How are you?
Thank you, nice to meet you.
Miss Gwen said, Alderman, please stand
I
still.
know.
Miss Gwen is correcting you, Alderman. So, have a good day.
Thank you. Hey, come here a minute.
Hey, come on. Worldwide.
Go get 'em, man.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to see what you accomplish. Yeah, let's get the coach. Yeah, I'm gonna watch you in the Olympics.
Yeah, I've been reading about it.
Bounce on it, too.
Hey, doing?
See it.
He's a Lampier grad.
Make those lines. Yeah. Good luck to you, you hear me?
I'm the only,
Also a Lampier grad.
yeah, I just introduced. I'm in the whole thing.
Let's go. You too? When you become a pro,
Remember Springfield?
That's right. When you become a pro.
Since your father's there, I figured I'd look at you.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Congrats, buddy.
World, he's gonna be a pro.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone. All right, dismissed. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Class is over.
The chair will now entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the June 18th, 2024 City Council meeting and approve the minutes.
So moved, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes. The chair will now entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council first reading of ordinances into the record of this council meeting.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council reading of the consent agenda into the record of this council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. The chair will now entertain a motion to place the consent agenda on final passage.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and the voting will now be open after discussion. Any discussion? Anyone signed up for discussion? Seeing none, those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. Those opposed, please vote no. Alderwoman Notoriano, we're voting.
I totally clicked it.
And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. Agenda items 2024-089, 2024-178, and 2024-239 remain tabled or in committee. Is there any action on any of these at the council at this time? Okay, seeing none. The next item on the agenda is 2024-238, an ordinance appointing Amy Washington to the Deferred Compensation Committee. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda number 2024-238 on final passage.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and Ms. Washington is here, so I'll ask Amy to come up to the podium and introduce herself to all of you and tell everyone where you work, I guess. Okay, you can do both.
Hi, my name is Amy Washington. I have been with CWLP for 5 years. I am in the billing department currently, getting ready to be an admin clerk out at Dahlman starting on the 15th. I do thank you guys for letting me have this position as for comp committee. I do greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for serving, Amy.
Serving.
Yeah. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. The motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is item number 2024-241, a resolution referring a petition to the Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission for a public hearing and consideration proposing an amendment to Chapter 155, Section 155.302 of the 1988 City of Springfield Code of Ordinances as amended, pertaining to total square footage for temporary signs in single-family and duplex residential districts. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item number 2024-241 on final passage.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and Alderman Carlson has already signed up to speak in the discussion.
Thanks. You know, after a week of thinking about this and making some phone calls, I just want to add on from my thoughts last week. I was able to call a couple homeowner associations. They're sort of perplexed like I am. You know, why at the end of the day we're going to bigger signs. Again, I'll just reiterate, if we have some bad actors out there not following the rules, you know, let's go after them. And I know we talked earlier, Alderman, and I appreciate that, you know, whether it goes into effect later this year or even into January, you know, the other concern is just price. I'm not sure signs are going to get any cheaper next year than they are this year. To me, it's going to be some sort of arms race to the top, who can get bigger signs in a residential property, because I still think at the end of the day, there's got to be some sort of safety issue, how we're adding an additional 4 square feet to residential lots. You know, commercial, you know, it's already broken down. I think there's 3 or 4 different size signs in commercial lots, and that's a whole different ballgame. So that's why I'll be voting no on this, so thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Redpath.
I'm sorry I missed the committee hearing last week because of some health issues, but I'm up to speed on this, and some of the considerations that I want to put forth is, you know, for the years that I've been on the city council, political signs and signs in general have always been a controversial issue. People say we got too many signs, how big they are, and all the other kind of thing. I've even considered bringing an ordinance to reduce the size of the signs just because they're so bulky, and even though we're all the animals of the political signs that we have to put up to get elected, it's as long as we keep it on a level playing ground, it's not something that's going to be controversial. But I really think that your resolution is probably you're going the right direction by sending it to the Planning and Zoning Commission. But I really am concerned that we are 125 days out of election, and we are changing the rules, and we need to think about that. I don't have a problem supporting the resolution, but I would like to ask you if you would entertain an amendment to anything that any recommendation they bring back to us can't take effect till after January 1, 2025.
Alderman Donlin.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. And Alderman, thank you for asking that question and for your forthrightness in the situation. I just want to be clear again, like I was last week, that this process, being the fact that we have a proposed resolution, if it were to pass tonight, it then gets sent over to the Sangamon County Regional Planning Commission. That takes about a month, if plus. And then it ultimately, when it gets through that process, it comes back to our Planning and Zoning Commission, which takes another month. And then if it gets a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission, whatever that recommendation would be, it then would come back to the City Council. And it's the earliest, according to Corporation Council, that it could become effective without an amendment is the end of October of this year, which essentially takes it out of this election cycle anyway. So I think your question and request is very reasonable, because it would, if something were to go into effect, and remember, it's still got to come back to us. It could be changed along the process. It could be, we have a choice of doing something, nothing, amending it then. But I have no problem with an amendment that makes it effective January 1, as you requested.
So if that's good with you, I'd like to make the request that any results of this resolution that come out of the Planning and Zoning Commission be delayed to start time to January 1, 2025.
I would second that, if that's appropriate, Corporation Council and Mayor.
So to clarify, that's a motion to make the ordinance attached as Exhibit A. Well, the resolution would be effective immediately, but the ordinance attached as Exhibit A to become effective January 1st, 2025.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So I have, is that your motion,
Yes, it
Alderman? Alderman Donlin, are you a second?
I did.
So I have a motion and a second to add an Exhibit A to the resolution in front of you, that this would not take effect until January 1st, 2025. Any discussion, Alderman Hanauer, on the resolution, or the Exhibit A of the resolution?
It's on either one.
Okay.
But I was under the impression that it doesn't go to regional planning, Sangamon County Regional Planning. I think it just goes straight to our group. Is that not? I think we need to check that, because I don't know that they.
Alderman, that's what I was told as well. It just goes to Springfield Planning and Zoning. That's it.
So
We do not have the authority to oversee anything that goes on in the county anyway, so I don't know why we would go to them anyway.
But I would.
Corporation Council weigh in, if you don't mind.
This would go to Springfield Planning and Zoning
Right.
Commission.
But not, it doesn't go to
Regional
to
planning,
regional
exactly.
planning and then come back over, and then, so.
That's correct, yeah. We'll go to our Planning and Zoning Commission,
Right.
but the time frame for us to get this passed and the resolution filed would still be as expressed by Alderman Donovan.
Right. And I appreciate the amendment to go, to go start January 1. I still maintain, and when the ordinance comes back, if this passes, if the ordinance comes back, I'd probably support that, but I still don't I don't like the idea of moving up in sign size. If anything, I'd rather see it go down, as I stated last week. I think that, quite honestly, people would rather see that than, the yard signs alone are bad enough, but then, they're putting out 2x4s and 3x4s, and some places out in the county, they got 4x8s, which anybody that wants to wrestle with those, they're crazy anyway, but it's just, I just think we need to go down rather than up, but I appreciate the amendment, because I do think that we shouldn't tie this in the middle of an election. I think that would be wrong too, so, thank you.
Alderman Donlin.
Yeah, just a response. Thank you, Alderman, for the comments, and I appreciate the conversation about the amendment. Seems to be reasonable. I just asked for a favorable vote, and it will be coming back to us at some point, so thank you.
Any other discussion on Exhibit A, moving this to January 1st, 2025? Seeing no other discussion on that, all those in favor of the Exhibit A amendment added, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. No. We have one no, would that be right? Roll call vote on the Exhibit A. Clerk Lesko, sorry.
Will do.
Alderman Redpath.
Aye.
Alderman Gregory.
Aye.
Alderman Williams.
Aye.
Alderman Rockford. Alderwoman Purchase.
Aye.
Alderwoman Notriano.
Aye.
Alderman Carlson.
No.
Alderwoman Conley.
Aye.
Alderman Donlin.
Aye.
Alderman Hanauer.
I'm an aye for the amendment.
9 ayes and 1 no, Mayor.
Okay, so 9 ayes and 1 no, so the Exhibit A passes, moving the date to January 1st, 2025. So now we need to know if there's any further discussion on the agenda item of the resolution 2024-241 with the exhibit that has just been adopted. Any further discussion? Seeing none, voting will now be open. All those in favor, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 7 voting yes, 3 voting no. So from there, we will ask if there's any unfinished business to come before the council from any of the members of the council.
I tried.
Alderwoman Conley.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to count this as unfinished business because it's just been going on since prior to me even joining the city council. There are apartments on Washington Street, across the street from SHG, that we'll call them fallen into disrepair is a real polite way to put it. There has been multiple owners. It's gone through a lot of iterations. The neighbors have been more than patient with what is now becoming an outrageous, obnoxious violation. Unfortunately, this property, the current owner started rehabbing the apartments, and in the process of that, failed to do an asbestos inspection. So we now have a state asbestos violation at this property, and we've had multiple conversations. Corporation Counsel Mourdock has been very helpful in reaching out to the state's attorneys. I've been telling people just kind of one-on-one and trying to talk to as many neighbors as I can what's going on, but I get emails, texts, pictures of what it looks like over there on a regular basis. So I just thought if you could just give us sort of an update on where things are with this case, what the city's options are, and what we currently can do, and just sort of what the status is with those apartments. They're the old Ballyvon apartments, if anyone remembers those.
I've heard of those.
Yes.
Sure, so we still have our administrative court case that's open with violations and findings. Unfortunately, we can't go in and abate, or we can't go on the premises at all right now because of the asbestos issue. So once they found asbestos, jurisdiction went to the state for asbestos remediation. IEPA was in control of that. They have referred the case to the state attorney general's office, who's now prosecuting the case. I know that elected officials have been in touch with the assistant attorney general's handling the case, as well as stakeholders regarding the issue, and they are monitoring it because they know it's an issue for the city. Right now, the attorney general is working with the owner to come up with an abatement plan, which they're requiring before anything else happens. It sounds like the owner still has 2 weeks in order to present their asbestos abatement plan to the Attorney General's office and IEPA, and then if that's approved, they'll move forward. But the owner has been in touch with an asbestos remediation company, and that's really the next step. Once the asbestos is out, we can resume pursuing all of the remedies that we have for the situation.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and this is, Mayor, just for the record, this is one of those situations where I do not think we need to be real lenient with the violations. We've tried
Well,
working.
then I'm known for that, so.
We've tried working with this owner, and I understood there were, some special circumstances with health issues after COVID and we had COVID, but the state of those apartments right now is truly a hazard to the neighborhood. People break into it on a regular basis, so I'm looking forward to getting some resolution from the state so that we can secure the facility, keep that property, get the property under control, and eventually get it taken down. So, thank you very much. Thank you again, Corporation Counsel, just for clarifying that. I want to make sure, I know some of my colleagues have gotten questions about that location too, so I just want to make sure everyone is on the same page and understands where we are with this property. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. Alderman Gregory.
Thank you, Mayor. I just would like, I want to start off with if I could ask for an update on Stanford, Dave Street, Stanford Avenue. It has been such a long time, and the people who stay on that particular street, it's unlike most major construction that we do, where people can still get out from their homes. They unfortunately have to get out on that road, and they are at the bitter end with it. So I just wanted to see and ask what's the update on that.
Work is progressing. As you know, it was kind of the end of the line to begin with, and we had to do a lot of relocation of utilities. There was a very large water main that had to be moved, gas lines, we had to move every power pole. It was that entire stretch. That's all been done, so we're working on the pavement now. I know it's a long saga for the folks that are there. We're trying to be as attentive to the dust issue. That's really kind of risen. The contractor's supposed to go through there every morning and water it all down. There's no cross streets. There's no alleys. You're kind of stuck. It's kind of the worst of all situations, but work is progressing.
So I thank you for that update, and I think there was some important information in that, and Alderwoman Notrano definitely educated me on that yesterday about the water main, and I think that's something that's important to get out to the community, that's what, really stalled us out on that particular project. We got schools being built, and, people compare the length that has been completed over there at Landfair from this one street. So I thank you for that information. Madam Mayor, if I may, I just have one more question, not for you, Director, but.
Folks, you're off the hook.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, where do we have an update where we are on our cannabis grants? It is July the 2nd, and I know we have to have an application period open July 1st per ordinance. So I just wanted to see where we at with that.
Director Yeasel is here, so I can ask her to come up.
All of the home grants have been provided, have given out, and they're starting their work on that. The business grants should be coming out this next week. We've got them scheduling.
So let me ask you, so are we starting a new round of home grants since it's July 1st, or you just got a long list and you just keep shuffling them?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. That is great to hear. I do know that there is many different people who have been questioning it. You know, we've had discussions with the guy with the food truck, and I think that information and him and your thoughts around that will help settle him and his thoughts
Sure,
and things.
we've spoken numerous times, so yes.
I appreciate you. And finally, I don't mean to take up all the time and try to be talkative, but Mayor, I know that there has been a stretch of meetings with a business in my ward. And whether, you know, with between your offices and I'm done, Ms. Val, but you don't have to stand there. But between your office and the police department, it is creating some type of confusion on what whatever is going on. I'm not there at those meetings, so you know, but I always.
I'm unaware of what you're speaking.
I
haven't had a meeting with
nor
any
have I.
businesses.
I don't know what you're
Well,
talking about.
let me ask Chief. Let me ask Chief.
Val, you're off the hook.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
gonna be
you.
my quote of the night.
Hit the door.
Chief.
Yes, sir.
Have we had any meetings with any businesses in my ward where we had to stop any parties or anything like that?
Referring to pop-up parties
Or just parties in general that we don't want to see?
You're putting me on the spot here, and I don't, if there's something you're referring to, please share. 'Cause I'm not following.
I guess I'll just say that, you know, there's been much conversation, I guess, with Unique's Bar and whether or not whatever's going to go on, party going on. So I'm going to say I have not been a part of those conversations. But the information that's transpired or whatever to them is being passed off as like it's coming from me. And I have not been a part of those conversations. And you know me, I'm always very, very, very honest in my approach of what we would like to see in our community. And I try to be honest with our businesses, good or bad, with that. And at times when these meetings happen and I'm not there, whatever information is transpiring, it is causing great angst and great confusion within our community that we don't need. And you know, so I just ask that if we're going to have meetings with them or any business in my ward where we're going to restrict something or ask them not to do anything, I would like to be invited so I can know what information is being passed back and forth and clear up any misinformation.
Sure. I would tell you that I believe Commander Beal took part in a meeting. I believe maybe some folks from code enforcement were there as well, and this was, if I'm remembering correctly, in reference to just some liquor law violations that occurred there previously, as well as the current agreement that they're under with the city is regarding all the remedies of the agreement that they have to follow. So this has been ongoing for some time. I don't recall a specific meeting, and certainly I would not pawn off anything that came from our office on any alderman. I'm certainly willing to stand up and say if something's wrong, it's wrong, and I don't need to make excuses as to put it on someone else.
I totally understand, and I don't think it's always you, but you know, this is not our first conversation about on things like this, and you know, for me, you know, I just have to be real. You know, it can cause. You know, Alderwoman Purchase talked about us and our our families and things that we have to look forward to and stuff. And I've been through a lot since I've been up here, and these things, I'm just saying that they put me in a tight spot, and they cause confusion. And when things happen like that, I mean, we've seen confusion in our community where people go back and shoot up houses and all misinformation that they're getting from law enforcement or somebody's in that office. And I'm just saying that if those things are happening, which something's happening because I'm not there, but my name's always in these conversations and I'm not in these meetings. And it's causing some confusion in my community. And, I would like it just to stop, and I'd like to be invited to the meetings, so I always can keep it real with our businesses in our community.
Absolutely, and I would say this, if anyone from my office is intentionally spreading misinformation, I need to know about it right away so I can address that, because that's certainly not something that I would approve of, nor would I encourage from any of my officers. So we can follow up maybe afterwards about specifics, if you're good with that.
Thank you, Chief. Alderman Redpath.
So Chief Canny, can I talk to you?
Chief
Wrong
Canny.
chief.
Oh, Chief Scarlett, you're off the hook.
Tag out.
Tag team.
So
We don't have many directors left. I hope Donlin and Purchase have different ones to bring out.
just a short time ago, about a month ago, we passed a water increase to improve the water services and infrastructure in the city of Springfield. We all had a tough decision to make when we did that. But I got a guy who lives on Linden Lane that his water line has broke 3 times in 2 years. I was out there this weekend, 9:30 at night, when it broke this last time. And he tells me again, and you and I have had this conversation before, but I need to have you address it again. Every time he sees a fire truck coming to do the water pressure test, his water line breaks. And this is the same situation that happened this last weekend. And he said, you know, a lot of people see fire truck coming, they go, hey, great, this sounds good. This guy starts going into panic because the water line keeps breaking.
I can talk with the water department and see if we can put his hydrant on a, we call it a no test area, and we won't not test it, but we'll go out with the water department and take special measures. So you get me that address and
I will do that off air, but the bottom line is that we train our people to go out and make these tests, and there's a specific way, as you told me.
Right, yes.
How they have to do it. You just don't jerk that thing on because it sends like a boom into the system.
Right,
and,
water pressure.
And it pops them. And I had 3 or 4 of them last year and out in my area. And this poor guy, 3rd time, he was pretty upset when I got over there. I had to finally convince him that.
No, we've got several areas where we treat them like kids' gloves just because the infrastructure is deteriorating and older. Several in Alderman Donlin's area that we have to, be extra special and careful with. Very kid gloves, yes, yes, out there by the airport. So I'll talk with the water department. We'll put this area on our list, and we can.
Look, I always want to throw cheers up for the fire department. You guys do a great job. And the bottom line is that it wasn't to pick on you, but the poor guy was, just had some serious medical issues and wasn't up for the water main break.
I'm sure not.
So I appreciate it if you do that.
Yep, we'll do.
Thank you, Chief. You're off the hook. Okay. Alderwoman Purchase.
Thank you,
Pick up
Madam
someone new.
Well, it's actually Chief Scarlett.
Aw, nuts. We're repeating.
But this is on a good note, Madam Mayor. So over the weekend, me and my colleagues, Alderman Williams and Alderman Gregory, got together and we was able to witness, it wasn't a pop-up party, but it was a very large gathering. And I just want to commend not only the police department, but our community. The level of engagement that happened this weekend was remarkable. People were speaking to our officers was talking to people. People was very surprised to see us 3 out together, like standing over there. And they would say, well, what are you doing out here? The same thing you doing, watching you. So they are definitely aware, but it was peaceful. It wasn't as large. And Chief Scarlett, one thing I learned was that we do write citations for people doing fireworks. So there were people doing fireworks in the middle of the street, and just wanted to remind everyone that you have to have a permit, right, to do that, or you could get a ticket.
That's correct. Sangamon County issues the permits to be able to sell and or light off fireworks, and then we have ordinance violations that we can issue to those that are illegally lighting off fireworks in our community.
Yes, so I think everything that you all are doing is like top notch. The way that we saw the police department out there after 1 a.m. and people were leaving and we didn't have it. Now, I might have missed a bad weekend where it's a bad weekend, but this one was a good weekend, but it was a very large crowd of people hanging outside. And so I didn't know if you wanted to make a comment.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. I thank the three of you for coming out. I know the mayor has done a ride along as well, and I think it's important, to see through kind of our eyes what exactly our officers are experiencing, what our neighbors and our communities are experiencing out there, and, being that voice and delivering that message that we can work together as one community to help solve some of this nonsense that's happening after hours. So thanks to the three of you for riding along this weekend. Appreciate it.
No problem. And after saying all of that, happy 4th of July. And make sure you're not popping fireworks because my cat gets nervous. And I know some people, dogs are nervous and can be in a panic. So please, everyone, have a safe 4th of July.
Yes, ma'am.
Kenny, hold on.
Alderman Hanauer wants, you guys are breaking my stride.
I just want, do you want to plug your bobblehead night? I don't know if you knew this, but our police chief's got a bobblehead night at the Lucky Horseshoes, and I can't wait to get one of those because I've got a great place for it. It's going to be sitting right here.
I've heard a lot of jokes where that's going to end up. Here's what I'll plug. I'll plug Compass for Kids. That's a great organization, and I agreed to do this in an effort to support their mission and what exactly they do and to raise funds for Compass for Kids. So it does happen to be on July 16th, which is a council night. So if y'all want to have an early night that night and come out and celebrate with me afterwards, I'd certainly appreciate that. I know Compass for Kids and the Horseshoes would appreciate it as well. So.
And I can't wait for other bobblehead nights like Chief Canny, a Larry Rockford bobblehead. I can't wait to get that. That'd be a good one.
Would be a really good one.
Ethan Posey bobblehead would be a big bobblehead, and So
We're digressing.
anyway, thank you.
Yes, sir. Alderman Donlin.
I don't even know how to follow that one up.
Glad it's you and not me.
Chief, if you could do me a favor, before you leave, I'd like to chat with you offline. That's all I wanted to say, so thank you.
I have two things for old business. One, happy belated birthday to Alderwoman Conley and Alderman Carlson.
Happy
They had
birthday.
birthdays in the last week. And then, as we move into new business, this could be a part of old and new. If you want to see fireworks in our community on July 3rd, which is tomorrow, the Lucky Horseshoes have fireworks at their stadium. On July 4th, there are fireworks at Lucky Horseshoe Stadium and at Knights Action Park. And on July 5th is Rock the Dock at the lake, so you can see fireworks for 3 nights in a row if you'd like to. Anyone else have any new business? All right, seeing none, we're going to go to citizens that signed up in advance to address the council. When you come up, please state your name for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes. The first person's, or not your name and address. The first person signed up to speak is Mbana Kantako. Is Mbana here?
He won't be here tonight.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Alderman, for letting me know. The second person signed up to speak is Alice Ramey.
I was going to say she won't be here. She won't be here tonight.
She won't be here.
Thanks for bringing up being scared of your cats and dogs and stuff like that. Mine is too. What time, my name is Alice Ramey. I want to know, is there an ordinance that they have to quit fireworks at 10 o'clock in neighborhoods?
We can't shoot fireworks.
Huh? I mean, seriously, I want to know.
We don't legislate as the county does.
Well, I'm not at the county, I'm asking the city. Because we get these great big booms, great big booms. And not only my dog, but my next door neighbor's dog are 2 German Shepherds, and they go crazy. So what can we do about this? And I did call the cops one night, and they did come out and took care of the problem very well. But we can't, they started it June the 1st, fireworks, You're laughing, Roy, but it's not funny when you've got a dog that wants to jump in the middle of your stomach and scare to death because of the booms, But I just wanted to know about that, if we do. Do I have to go to the county and ask them? That's beside the point, okay? Because it really needs to be an ordinance. I thought we had one in the city.
Address you.
I really did.
He's coming up.
Oh, well,
right next to you.
Right,
Look to your left.
I'm afraid.
So the city does have an ordinance on the books that we can enforce, and so if there are issues and you'd like to call the Springfield Police Department, which you obviously have, feel free to do so. I will ask that people keep things in perspective, that come July 4th, that's going to be a very busy evening for us, so it may take a while for us to get there for some of those fireworks calls. We'll certainly do our best to handle those. And that goes for any loud sort of noises, booms, music, whatever the case may be. If you're being disrupted as far as your peace and your peace of mind, then call the police. We'll come deal with it.
Well, that is not the only problem. I have a pacemaker monitor at home, and one boom went off so golly loud that the hospital had to call me and ask me if I was okay. So there is times that I don't mind the fireworks. In fact, I love the fireworks. But when it becomes a medical thing, it's something we have to take care of, and that's not fair. There have been, in my neighborhood, I bet you every other house, and mainly one of them that I called on, they found out it was in Poplar Place, which I didn't know. Okay, I thought it was across the street, but they did come by and tell me. I do appreciate the police department. It'd be like me slapping my uncle in the face if I told him I didn't like it, because he was chief of this city. And so I feel like I respect the fire department because I had an uncle in the fire department. So it's nice to know that you can call the police department or the fire department, and the people at 911 have been very nice and have quiet way to understand it, because my sister was very nervous and quiet my sister down very nicely. So I do want to thank them for that too. And you guys all have a beautiful 4th, a safe one, and see you next week.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. The next person signed up to speak is Robert Frazier.
Mr. Frazier.
Good evening. Robert Frazier, 2127 Wirt, that's where I live. Executive Director of Clean Slate Advocates. We are a local community organization that assists people with laundry and linen needs. I came to present some numbers that we had for last month. We had approximately 4,792 customers serviced in the laundry side, which is equivalent to 97,031 loads of laundry that we did for the month of June for our community. Just wanted to talk a little bit about what we're witnessing in the store through the non-for-profit. We have about, in our community, which is important, and I just kind of heard that, with the police chief, talking about what it's like at the ground level and dealing with people. 20%, about 20% of our community is doing well. They don't live paycheck to paycheck. They have investments. They're well educated, college grads, and they're connected with the powers that be. 80% of our community is not doing well. We struggle every day, homeless, working poor, etc. Good or bad, depending on your opinion, good or bad, depending on your opinion, the city just so happens to be one of the best jobs in this community. How can we keep up this pace? Can we be a city that is business-friendly and filled with thriving businesses? The city has more work than they can actually do. Why? The community says, and I put this together, teach them to hunt and they'll never go hungry. Give them everything and you'll never finish. People need opportunities. Create opportunities for the people. We have an interesting situation in this city, and so people want to fight for their rights, but they can't afford to. They can't afford attorneys. They can't find attorneys to represent them. I hear we have not because we ask not. We're not looking for a handout, but most certainly need a hand up in our community. No haters of the prosperity pie going on here. Around us, we just want to be a part of the pie. We just want a piece of the pie. I've been coming for a little while now and just kind of learning and understanding what happens here in this horseshoe. And in my opinion, we don't do enough for our community to do better. I have a lot of ideas on how we can do that, but this is evidence that people are struggling mightily because people do take pride and they want to be clean. They want to have clean clothes, what most of us enjoy on a daily basis. I've had an opportunity to be a part of the business community for a while, representing CSA and some other business, all in one. And I see a lot of prosperity when I go to these meetings. A lot of people ask, well, how are you doing? How's everything? Everything is great. We exchange a lot of pleasantries, but they never really understand the pain of what really is going on in our community that I live and I work with on a daily basis. I look forward to cultivating some real, true relationships that make the change for what's best for our community to do something different and not continue to do the same thing and have the same results. I thank you for listening, and that's all I have right now.
Thank you, sir. We have one other person signed up to speak, Jack Pasiola.
Hi, my name's Jack Pasiola. I live over in Ward 7. Good evening, Mayor Busher and Alder people. First, I would like to say that I am in support of that bill, or that ordinance for transporting the fly ash. But I'm rather confused and slightly concerned because of CWLP's inconsistent statements on the issue. On June 4th, Doug Brown stated multiple times that he believes removing fly ash would do more environmental damage than just capping the ash pond. On that same date, Alderman Hanauer said, I don't believe anyone would want a truck with that ash driving past their house. According to the language included with the earlier ordinance for Howard Concrete, there's already a contract between CWLP and Ozinga Cement to remove fly ash to make concrete. This contract existed prior to the June 4th statements from Doug and Alderman Hanauer. My question to the horseshoes are, is removing the fly ash actually more environmentally damaging, or are we just using that line when it costs money instead of making money? And what happened in the last 4 weeks that made it okay to have trucks with that ash driving past people's houses? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Alderman Williams. Sorry, I have ice in my mouth.
Is Director Brown here?
No,
He isn't.
Scott Rogers. is here.
I think that, in my readings, I get the same thing, that the two sides of this. And in my opinion, in my growth and on this learning curve about fly ash, is that we do want to cap it and we do want to do the same thing and not transport it. However, these statements stand on their own merit. So I guess my question to you, which is it? Is it dangerous or is it not to have them be transported?
So the ash from Unit 4 is dry to begin with, so it is stored in a silo. It is loaded. Currently, Ozinga uses enclosed trucks, and we load it in it. So those are already enclosed. The ash for this project also will be loaded in closed trucks. The difference is you start digging the ash out of the ponds in mass. It's in the data that our estimates of how much ash is there and what it will take. It would take 7 trucks an hour for 7 years to haul that ash out. That's where you start adding all that up. That's the environmental damaging portion of that. Is not only are you digging that ash out of the ground, making it airborne. We will water it as much as we can when we do dig. We always have a water truck over there to keep that dust down. But then you start adding up the diesel fuel, the emissions from that, hauling 7 loads an hour, 7 loads an hour for 7 years. That's a lot of emissions from a diesel truck.
Okay, so what the ordinance is doing is quite a lot lesser.
Yeah,
And-
this ordinance, I think it's only a 1-year agreement, but it's up to 6,000 tons versus hundreds of thousands of cubic yards that are in the ponds. That's the biggest difference.
Okay.
And like I said, it's already stored in a silo enclosed, and we load it into enclosed trucks.
Well, and it's dry, and
and it's dry.
the enclosed, I guess.
Enclosed, yep, is the key.
Thank you, I appreciate
welcome.
that.
Alderman Hanauer, same subject, or?
Yeah, thank you. Same subject. And Scott, if we would have to take it out of the ash pond, those trucks would not be enclosed. We couldn't use enclosed trucks like
Correct,
these.
you can't, yeah, we would dig it out with a track hoe, a big excavator.
Dump it in a
and-
big-
And dump it into an open truck.
Yeah.
Then they would put a tarp over it. But as all of us know, driving down the interstate behind trucks with tarps,
Right.
they're not 100% sealed.
And we can't currently put our dry ash into the ash pond now, right? Is that
Correct.
my understanding?
Unifor is completely separate. There is no ash from Unifor that's allowed to go to the ash ponds.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear. It's an open truck if we go out of the ash pond where these are enclosed and, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Are there any other citizens that wish to address the council? Sergeant Peters, do you want to come up first? Then we'll do this gentleman here. You'll state your name and city
It's
for the
Charles
record.
Peters today. I just wanted to bring back up to everybody's, first, thank you for letting me be up here, Mayor, and the aldermen and women. I just wanted to bring up, again, the Republic Services and how hard it is to deal with them. It took me forever to get a recycling bin. Once I finally got one, and they put it in the back of my house on the alley, you know, probably 4 or 5 weeks later, we're finally calling because it's full, and we're like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, it says that they picked it up, and I'm like, okay, well, I got cameras. Nobody's been by to pick up my recycling. They're like, okay, well, actually, you need to put it in the front. I was like, so my garbage in the back, recycling in the front, which one is it? I'm like, this doesn't make sense, and I can't get a hold of anybody. And the last time when I finally got my recycling bin was because I just drove up there and said, I'm just gonna talk with somebody direct. So I just wanted to bring that up again, and I apologize for not coming to you first, but it just was on my mind because my wife was dealing with it earlier, so.
No. I support you in your efforts, and I never have a problem with people coming up. Thank you.
Sergeant
Thank you.
Peters, if you'll email Christina LaRusso in Public Works, Christina LaRusso, she's our contact with the waste haulers for either recycling or waste, and she can communicate with them for you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Sir?
I gotta say, she's amazing too, getting things
It
done.
is a great asset. I agree.
How you doing, Mayor Missy Bushra and the City Council Committee? My name is Robert Williams. I want to thank y'all for allowing me to address y'all. I have some serious issues that I spoke to y'all about 2 weeks ago, but I just put it out there. But now I want to get some answers, and I want to add some other things that occurred to me since I lost my place of stay. I'm homeless now. I'm currently living on the street, sleeping wherever I can. I've been out since the 15th. But what I want to address y'all about is this, what the Governor Pritzker signed a bill for sex offender. I'm not a sex offender. I was charged for doing something crazy, you know. Back then, I called it spontaneous with my girl. I didn't rape no kid. I didn't rape no woman. We was on the bus. We was role playing. To make a long story short, I got charged for sexual assault. But I didn't do nothing to nobody. I want that cleared up right now. But I want to talk about what Pritzker did. He signed a bill. I just got to doing 25 years. He signed a bill for resentencing, and I don't see nobody helping us. You know, we out here in the street, and he signed a bill that allowed you all to help us with housing, jobs, and everything. And they even had a bill about getting SSI for the ones that's incarcerated. Well, I've been incarcerated 25 years, and ain't nobody helped me, like I say, but Derek, Sarah, and let me include Newman and Shannon. And you already know Sean and Williams. But everything else I've been doing on my own. But I want to talk about is what the governor signed this bill saying we supposed to get housing. But we ain't getting shit, excuse my French. And you wasn't, I don't think you was a mayor then when he signed that bill, I know for a fact. But he supposed to help us with our SSI home. And I just ran into some racism. I went to County Market to serve myself some some food at the County Market on Durston. As I was serving myself, Mike, I found out his name. I asked him about, I put 3 chicken on my tray, and I asked him about the macaroni and the mashed potato. He said it cost about £1. I said, all right. So I went to go finish serving myself, and I was putting the chicken on my tray. He snatched the tongue out of my hand for no reason, you know, and it's a surf-serving deli. And I like, what's up? Why you do that? He said, you can't serve yourself. So I said, well, I'm going to go talk to the manager. I don't like your demeanor. So I went to the manager. She said she's going to look into it. Then I called the corporate people, spoke to them and told them about it. I told her I was going to go to Popeye. I went to Popeyes, found out it was a drive-through at a certain time. So I couldn't get served, so I came back. When I came back, I seen this white man serving himself macaroni, mashed potato, and macaroni. And this is a surf-serving deli. And it blew me, but I felt racist. I understand now fully what Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all of them went through. And that shit hurted me. I wanted to go over that counter and really, you know, touch him, but I didn't. So, like I said, I called the corporate office and reported it, and now I'm finna file a lawsuit. But I want to know is what y'all gonna do for the guys that's homeless now that the Supreme Court passed this bill that homeless is not allowed to live on the street.
Are you done, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Alderman Williams has something, so if you want to stay there, Mr. Williams.
So, when I met you and we talked about things, what's the guy's name? Okay. Yeah, Nick Dotson and Continuum of Care, those folks, they were not able to serve you or help you.
No, I've been helping myself along with Derek, Sarah, Shannon, and Mr. Newman. But ain't nobody laid there and filed any forms to give me a place or anything. I have a friend, like I told y'all last time, her name Nikki J. Denny, and we've been sharing a apartment together in a hotel. And through the grace of God, you know, but everything y'all owe us, we're not getting, and that's by law. You see what I'm saying?
So I think you're struggling with when you see this news and hear about these programs, some new, some old, and how I think we're trying to help you figure out how it passes down through to the state, through the city, to these organizations that we help fund maybe, to do exactly what you're talking about. So when you come to us and we send you to the Nick Dodds and the Continuum Care and some of these other characters, and then you come back and say, well, they didn't do nothing for me, I don't know if it's because you're not willing to go through the process or what they're telling you to make you feel like they're not helping you.
They haven't told me anything. I talked to Nick,
Yeah.
and he said he was looking into it, and that was the last of it. I have a friend named Sam. He on that dispensary across the street from the Click, and he said he know Nick real good. He said he was going to talk to him and put a word in for me and see can he help me get a place. But like I said, I'm out here doing everything on my own. I learned how to do lawsuits while I was incarcerated. I know law, paralegal law. And like I said, I'm a sue County Market for discrimination and racism. And like I said, you can read my cases, Robert versus Reed. I won, Selpo and Bono. That's just one of them. But like I said, you all need to step up and do what the government said. People talking about they want to get rid of the government. What about the housing? Mission got 370,000. The Helping Hand got 750,000. Well, it don't cost but like 30,000 to remodel. But they're not trying to help nobody. A lady friend of mine has a kid over at Red Roof Inn, and she didn't have no money to put up to pay for their room. So he came through passing out trays. I forgot his name, but I told him about the situation. And instead of him laying there saying, well, here's my card, contact us at the mission, he give her another card talking about contact this lady. But y'all just got last year, as of July 1st, $375,000. And it don't take no $375 to remodel the mission. And like the other man said when I was here last time, he said y'all need to build more housing. That's more, shelters. And the governor signed the bill.
Alderman Gregory would like to speak with you.
Go ahead.
Mr. Williams, I will say that Nick is very, very good at his job, and I've worked with him with several people who needed housing, and he has accomplished the goal. It does take a little while,
Right.
so hear me out. It does take a little while. It is very tough, but from a council's perspective and from what we've done, we've supported rapid rehousing and supportive housing. There's a brand new Helping Hand shelter over there that you had some issues with. So, we're trying to help you, man, and we're trying to do all that we can. And I understand that you need someplace to go, but you gotta be patient, and you gotta work with the folks that we sending you to.
Ain't nobody been sending me to nobody.
Well, we sent you to Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
That's housing. I know, that's his job. So no matter who you speak to, right, they're gonna lean on Nick to get you placed.
I appreciate that with the utmost, but I'm not referring to Nick, because like you said, I talked to Nick, and he was on the expressway talking to me about housing, so I know he concerned, he cared.
All right.
So I'm talking about the other places, like the mission.
Thank you for your time, Mr.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
The chair will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it.